You're going. All right, everyone can hear me okay? We're good to start? Thumbs up? Awesome. All right. So you can start on your back here. So we're going to start with our glute bridge. Actually, let's start first. You're going to bring those feet up. So keeping that lower back on the ground. And you can't really see my toes here because of how close I am. So you're going to start pointing them. I'll do it down here, pointing and flexing them in. So just getting a little bit into that flexion and extension of your toes. You can do it with your knees bent or you can extend it up. Just start giving the ankles a little bit of love here. Oftentimes we forget that our ankles are a huge supportive part of our body. I've been really feeling recently because I've been having ankle pain while I run. I forget that they need a lot of love. We'll just do a couple more times. If something feels good, you can stay pointed for a second or stay flexed if something feels particularly good. Good. You can bring those feet down and then do the same thing with your palms. So bring your hands up, flexing the fingers in towards the ceiling. You're going to pull those fingers back on your right hand with your left hand. So opening up the palm, same thing. Oftentimes we forget that our wrists help us do pretty much everything in our daily life. Can't forget about them. Switching to that other side, pulling back. So the whole time here, making sure that lower back is still on the ground so you're not arching that back up. Good, just come to a couple of wrist rolls both ways. All right, we're gonna get right into the knee. So that lower back is right on the ground, feet are planted. If your knees ever start hurting, just walk the feet out a little bit. So placing those hands either on your hip bones or on your thighs, and you're gonna start to build some tension. So press against them a little bit and then slowly start to press into the bottom of your feet and lift up here. Good. So squeezing those hips up, really pressing the feet into the ground. You can even imagine that your feet are like pulling apart the mat. So that will really help engage the glutes. Sometimes I gotta punch them a little bit to make sure that they're engaging. And then if you need some extra tension, you can really press down with the palms into your quads and you'll feel some of that tension building here. The scapula should be pressed down into the mat. Good. So just warm up for another second. And then you can release those hands down to the mat or you can keep them on your quads, up to you. You're gonna heel toe that left foot to the middle and bring that knee up to a 90-degree angle. So that knee is right over your head. And we're gonna start with just externally and internally rotating that hip. So warming up the hip joint, so that foot comes to the outside. So the only thing that should be moving is really your hip joint and the knee moving side to side. So your pelvis isn't moving, it's all in that hip joint. And you may feel some tightness here if you have really tight hips. Your range of motion might be different. So really just moving that heel side to side. Good, so now you're gonna take that left hand and press it against that thigh. So you're gonna build some of that tension here. So pressing against that quad. You'll feel that left glute fire up a little bit. Good. So making sure here, the work is in that glute, not the lower back. So really squeezing up with the bottom of your foot here. If this feels good, stay here. If you want, you can add a couple heel raises with that left foot. You'll feel a little hamstring work going on too. We'll do 5, 4, that left hand is still pressing against your right leg. 3, 2, 1. You can lower that heel, take that hand off, bring that right leg down. Without lowering, we're gonna lift up that other leg. So same thing, knee is right over that hip and we'll come into that internal, external rotation here. So the same thing, the pelvis isn't moving. So you should be able to hold onto your pelvis here and it should not move even an inch. So sometimes that's good just to feel those pelvic points and make sure that they're not moving. It's all in that hip joint. You can keep that toe flexed in towards you, not intensely, but just so it has a little flex. So that right glute should be firing up here. My right glute is always a little sleepy, so it takes a little bit longer to wake it up. All right, coming back to that neutral, we're taking our right hand this time, pressing it against our quad, again, building that tension. How you doing, Em?
I'm shaking.
Feeling it?
Yeah.
Good, so building that tension here, pressing as hard as you need to against that quad to really feel that right glute fire up. Good, you can add in those heel raises if you did that on the other side, or you can keep that heel planted, up to you. Whew, it is burning. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can lower that heel, release that hand, bring your foot down. Almost there, almost there. Last little thing, putting those hands on your hip bones here, and the last couple seconds, really feel what it feels like to press up with the hips and have your hands give that feedback. So pressing down on those hip bones. You may also notice here, making sure those hip bones are even. You may find that one glute is stronger, which lifts up that glute. Good, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower that back down. You can hug those knees in, you can roll them around a little bit. Nice. Do we all make it? All right, so we're gonna go right into some core here. So you can plant those feet on the ground, and you're gonna bring those hands behind your head. Elbows are pointing straight up to support it. So when you're coming up, you really wanna make sure that you're also pressing back on your hand. So it's not just the hands pulling up, you're lifting with that chest. So we're just gonna practice a couple here. So take a big inhale. On that exhale, you're lifting up off those shoulder blades. That lower back is staying up on the ground. And then lowering back down. Taking an inhale here. Exhaling, lifting up a couple inches, holding here. Lowering back down. We'll do one more like that. Inhaling. On that exhale, lifting the shoulder blades up. So really trying to press that head back into your hands. That belly is pressing down into the mat. And lowering back down. All right, we're adding on, taking an inhale. On that exhale, lifting up, and you're lifting that right leg. Lowering that foot, lowering down. Inhaling, exhale, lifting up that left leg. Good. Really trying to press down to that low back here. Lowering the foot and down. Adding on again, inhaling. Exhaling, lifting up, lifting that right leg, bringing that left hand to the leg, pressing against here. If you want to just stay here with that leg lifted, feel free to do that. So again, you're building that tension, that low back is pulling down. Bring that hand back and down. Going to that other side, inhaling, exhaling, lifting up, bringing that left leg this time, crossing the right hand over, pressing against it. Good. Taking that hand off, lowering the leg and down. All right, final add on here, inhaling, exhaling up. You're gonna lift that right leg and then switch it while you're here. So keeping that low back on the ground, you're tapping. We'll do 5. That low back is staying down, pressing the head back into the hands. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We'll do that one more time. So lowering down, take an inhale. Exhaling on the way up. Bringing that, I guess, left leg up this time. And then we'll switch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring both those legs down. You can shake it out. Just going to make sure that no one came in during that time. Okay, cool. All right, how are we doing? We ready for the meat? All right, so we are gonna go right into a little bit of our HIIT today, although I think it's pretty fun. So our interval today is gonna be 30 seconds of one exercise, 30 seconds of a second exercise, 45 seconds of them combined, and then 15 seconds of rest twice. It's gonna be rough. So our first exercise is warming up our shoulders a little bit too. So your first exercise is going to be a dolphin with a hinge. So you can bring those hands either like this, or you can bring them together, puffing up that upper back, coming up into your dolphin, and your hinge is just going to be hinging just a couple inches forward and back on those toes. So we'll be here for 30 seconds, and then followed build right into a downward facing dog. So again, pressing back. Same thing, just moving a couple inches forward, couple inches back. And then here's where we're combining them. So we'll be in that dolphin. We'll do one hinge and then pressing with the hands up into a hinge and back down into a hinge, pressing up. You can always use your knees to go up and down. So you could be in your dolphin, come here, and then up into your hinge. That's fine too. If you want to get more into the triceps, you can use your hands to press you back up. Jessie looks at me like I'm crazy. All right, you all will be fine, I promise. So 30 seconds, dolphin hinge, 30 seconds, down dog hinge, combine, 15 seconds rest. We ready? Yes. Emily does not seem ready. Just is this me making the noise? Do you hear that noise? Is it just me? Oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens. All right, so starting with that the dolphin hinge. Ready, set, go. So puffing up that low back and just hinging a couple inches forward, a couple inches back here. Those hands can be pressed into the mat or they can be together. You'll feel a little bit of that work in your shoulders.
Backs of your legs.
Yeah, and in the back of your legs if you have tight hamstrings. So just a couple inches forward, couple inches back. Good, we're here for 3, 2. If you want to practice, you can press into your palms. So you're going right up into that downward facing dog and rolling up on those toes a couple inches forward, a couple inches back. Again, try to release those shoulders a little bit so they're not hugged up right next to your ears. We're also getting into some of that fascia in the back of our feet. So getting ready for that 45-second combo in 3, 2. Once you can start down in that dolphin, you'll do one hinge and then press with the palms up into your downward facing dog, doing one hinge, coming back down. Again, you can always bring that knee bend in between, do one hinge, bring those knees down, come into your dolphin, one hinge. Whew. Yeah, so we're really getting in the shoulders and the core. 15 seconds. I have to do one arm at a time in order to be able to do it. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. 15 seconds off. Shake out those arms. You should definitely feel some work in your shoulders. We'll do that one more time. If you want to add on more hinges, so do 3 hinges, that's fine too. Up to you. We'll start in 3, 2. So just with the dolphin hinge. Ready, set, go. So finding that dolphin just a couple inches forward. You'll feel the more work, the more you step those feet in. So the more your head is, your shoulders are over your elbows. Really trying to not let the shoulders sag here. So sliding the scapula up the back. Woo! All right, coming to that down dog in 3, 2, 1. So couple inches forward, couple inches back, trying to bring those hips lifted here. Palms are on the ground, coming up onto those toes. All right, getting ready for that 45-second combo. Last time. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So starting with that hinge, you can even just do 3 hinges here if you want to be in each position for a little longer, then pushing up to that other position. Really using some of that core strength to help you in your glute engagement. Woo. All right, maybe I lied, this wasn't a warm-up. Good, 15 seconds. So again, if you really want to get into those triceps, use those palms to push you from your dolphin into your down dog. One of my arms apparently is much stronger than the other one. All right, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Good work, everyone. All right, shake out those shoulders. Can give them a little. All right, we are moving on to our next hit. So our first exercise is going to be an inchworm. So you'll be standing here. You'll walk out into that plank and walk back up. Your second exercise, sorry about this one, is a tricep push-up. So your hands will be close together here. Those elbows are hugging back. So you're coming down, elbows are hugged, and pressing back up. If tricep push-ups are no-go for you, feel free to just bring the palms wider, and you can do a normal push-up, that's fine. For those of you who have really strong triceps, feel free to do it on your toes. I'm not even sure I can demo that, but you would be doing the same thing, hugging those elbows in here. So 30 seconds of those tricep push-ups, putting them together, you'll be walking inchworm into that tricep push-up, walking back up, all right? All right, we're gonna start with that inchworm here. So again, methodical with that inchworm. Don't worry about your speed. Really try to make sure you're engaging those shoulders, core, and glutes. All right, ready, set, go. So starting with that inchworm, walking out into that plank. You can even hold it for a second here, slide the scapula down your back, and come back up. Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Coming into that 30 seconds of your tricep push-ups. You're hugging those elbows back rather than chicken winging them. You may only be able to come down a couple inches. That's fine. Again, never about speed. Don't worry about repping them out. I made Ryan the other day do stagger push-ups. So going half down, holding, bottom hold, middle, and top if you want to do that. Fine too. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're combining them. So inchworm into that tricep push-up. Walking out. I'm bringing my knees down. Good, nice and controlled here. Halfway. Seeing if you can get a couple more in. You all look awesome from what I can see. Good, 3, 2, 1. 15 seconds off. We'll do that one more time. So we'll start with those inchworms. Emily's like, no. All right. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. So engaging those glutes and then starting our walkout. So just our inchworm the first time. Again, not about speed here. A big misconception is that you have to straighten your legs on the way down. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you want. You don't want to lock out those knees on your inchworm. All right, 3, 2, 1, right into those tricep push-ups. Hugging those elbows. Another modification here is to bring those knees in a little bit and just bringing those elbows straight down. That's fine too. You'll notice that looks pretty similar to what the dolphin to down dog looked like. Just a modified version of it. All right, 3, 2, 1, combining them. Coming back into that inchworm and into that tricep push-up. So we focus a lot on our bigger muscles here, but the triceps are really important for stabilizing the arms. You could probably guess from the name, our triceps have 3 different attachments rather than our biceps, which have 2. Good, 3, 2, 1, nice, rest. Good work, everyone. We're halfway through this combo series. Grab some water. I'll demo the next one. So our next one is going to be a lateral leg raise and a curtsey lunge. So our lateral leg raise, I look so funny with just my bottom half on here. So lateral leg raise, again, finding those hip points, lifting that leg out to the side and bringing it back down. So we'll stay on one leg for the whole first time we go through it, and then we'll switch to the other side. So that's your first exercise. Second one is just a curtsey lunge on one leg. So stepping that leg behind, that knee is staying above your ankle, like so, all right? So, and then the next time we go through it, we'll go to that other leg. All right, ready?
My legs are so long.
Set, go. So starting with you can start with the right leg, flexing that toe in. You'll feel some engagement from that glute, from your abductor. Try not to tip sideways, really try to stay as straight up as you can here. Obviously, this can add a little bit of a balance challenge. Good. Coming into that curtsey lunge in 3, 2, 1. Stepping that foot behind, curtsey lunge back in. So we're just going into our curtsey lunge here, and then we'll combine them. So those hips are trying to stay even as much as you can. Nice and controlled here. Chest is staying lifted. So you'll notice how we did our ankle warm up at the beginning. This ankle is really working for us. You can see that it's really trying to stay stable. All right, 3, 2, 1. So you're adding that lateral leg lift into that curtsey lunge. Maybe you want to try balancing the whole time so that leg is only touching the ground at the bottom of that curtsey lunge. That left glute should be fired up.
Yep.
Good.
Cool, see everybody working.
I know, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Good, 15 seconds. Ow! That core is engaged, hips are tucked here. 3, 2, 1. You can shake it out. We got a 15-second break. Can dance it. Woo! I'm a terrible dancer. All right. Come into that left side this time. Making sure you got that room. And 3, 2, 1. So that left leg coming up and down. So again, maybe putting those hands even on your hip points. So really controlling them. They never should be lifting up to one side. And this may be where you feel some compensation somewhere else. So maybe your core wants to engage. Maybe the obliques really want to control this. This is a good time to kind of think about what else do you feel firing while you're doing this. 3, 2, 1. Coming right into that curtsey lunge. So again, that knee is staying right above the ankle. I feel like we have to do this in unison so I don't hit you. Good. So remember, again, not about speed. You can even try to do this really slow.
It hurts even more.
Yeah, and it hurts even more. This whole thing about speed, I'm convinced it's a myth. All right, combining them in 3, 2, 1. So we're coming to that lateral lunge or lateral lift into that curtsey lunge. So this is a great exercise for runners because you're getting into that abductor and you're firing up that glute. 2 of the most important parts of your body here. So really big stability. Good, almost there. 3, 2, 1, shake it out, nice job. All right, we are coming to our final combo series. Yes, so our first exercise is going to be a plank leg lift. You have a couple options. You can do this on your palms, so you're here in your plank and you're lifting one leg up at a time. Notice my hips aren't moving side to side. I'm just lifting that leg straight up. You can also do this with your leg down, lifting up. You can also do it on your forearms, either way. All right, you will need to be doing it on your palms for the combo part. Second exercise, a side plank lateral raise. So you'll have one hand on the ground, one knee bent. Well, I'll do this modified unless you're really feeling super strong, and that's fine, I'll demo that. You're gonna lift up that leg and come to pulses, so that toe is flexed. Again, you're feeling that glute and your abductor. If you wanna do it from here, you can either modify from the bottom and do that here, or you can stack the legs and do here. So as you would imagine, our combo looks two ways. So you're either here with one leg lift, coming down, side, lateral lift, back to the center, lift, knee down, lateral lift. So we'll be on one side for the whole time. Other option is to be doing this on your forearms. So lift, flipping to the side, lifting, come back to the middle. Does it make sense? You feel overwhelmed? That was a lot of information. Basically, whatever feels best in your body, do it here. Play around, have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. All right, we're starting with our leg raises in one of those plank positions. Ready, set, go. Again, you can do this on your knees or on your toes, just lifting the leg up a couple inches. So you can see Emily here, what I'm gonna tell her is to lower her hips a little bit so that she has a flat spine. Good. Nice and controlled here. So we'll go to one side of our side plank in 3, 2, 1. So finding that side plank, you can modify on your knee with your palm or on your lower, and you're just coming to those pulses. So modified, you can also stack the feet if you want that extra challenge. I do not at this moment, but feel free to take that. Those hips are stacked as much as you can, glutes are engaged, and we'll get ready for that combo. In 3, 2, 1, finding that plank, we'll do one leg lift on each side, finding that side, and one lateral raise. Coming back, leg lift, lateral raise. So there's a million different ways to do this. Forearms, knees, totally up to you. Pick your level here. Good, so we're engaging those glutes while our core is engaged the whole time. Good, 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds off. So this time, when you get to that side plank, you'll be doing the other way around. I'm gonna face this way so that I don't forget. 3, 2, 1, so finding that plank position, we're just doing those leg lifts that first time. Again, you can be down on your knees, you can be down on your forearms, whatever works best for you. Good, 10 seconds. Trying to keep those hips even. 3, 2, 1, finding that side plank. We're going to whatever position of lateral lunge you want to be, or lateral side plank. You can be down on your forearms, flexing that toe in towards you, I look headless. Oh, this hurts. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're back in that plank, doing one leg lift on each side, finding that modification in one lift. Good, so all of those muscles are working again. Not about speed here, nice and controlled. 15 seconds to go. Good, 3, 2, 1, relax. Nice job. All right, we are ending with an AMRAP as my favorite thing ever is an AMRAP. So AMRAP is as many repetitions as possible. In this case, it'll be as many rounds as possible. So we have 3 exercises, and you'll be repeating them as many times as possible in our 3-minute mark. So we're doing a final 3-minute blowout to finish it. When I say blowout, that does not mean speed. We're going slow, but we're finishing with a little bit of a difficulty. So our first exercise after I take this sip of water is a plank jack or plank step. So we kind of did a variation of that here. Again, palms, if your palms are feeling really tired, forearms totally fine. So our plank jack, you're jumping out and in, doing 10 of those. So I guess 1, 2, every time you jump out wide would be 1. You can also make that into a step. So you're stepping out and in. So 10 of those, and you can count like step out 1, step out 2, step out 3, so on. Doing 10 of those. So either 10 plank jacks, 10 plank steps. Second is 10 goddesses. So you're coming up into that squat position, toes turned out. You're coming just to 10 squats. If you want to add a challenge, you can lift those heels, add a little bit more inner thigh work. 10 of those, and then finally 10 side lunges with an optional lateral raise. So you'll do 5 to each side. So if you want to add that lateral raise, you're lifting that foot up a couple inches. So 5 on each side. Again, it would look like this on the other side. If you want to lift that leg, you're adding that. And then you go right back to the beginning, back into the plank jacks, plank steps. Whew, let's go. All right, finishing strong here, 3 minutes, and then we'll be done. Again, this is take it at your own pace. If you need breaks, take breaks. If you want to go right through the 3 minutes, do that. Ready, set, go. So picking your level here, I gave lots of modifications. Take other ones if you'd rather do those. 3. Again, you're not rushing anyone else. This is your own speed here. Those toes are turned out. Good. Nice and controlled here, sitting the hips back and down for those side lunges. And then when you're done, right back to the beginning. Keeping the hips tucked in that goddess. Remember your options here, choosing your level. Again, the lateral lunge, really good for those runners, working the inner and the outer thigh. You are 2 minutes in, 1 minute to go here. Nice. Trying to get as many in this last round. 45 seconds to go. Good. All right, we got 20 seconds. Last couple exercises here. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. You made it, nice job. All right, you can find yourself a seat here. Just start by coming back to that movement we did before. So rolling those shoulders back, getting a little bit into the ribs. Good, and then switch directions. You can come forward. All right, you're gonna come lay down on your back. We'll come to a couple stretches. So you're gonna bring that right leg over your left before you immediately go to grab it in. See if you can push back with that left leg instead of just grabbing it in. So using the strength of your glute to press it in. If you want to just stay on the ground, totally fine. But using that core strength and your glute instead. If this feels impossible and not fun, you can grab onto that leg, but I challenge you to try to stay here for a second. So using your own body strength to stretch. Catching your breath. We're gonna slowly drop this foot over to the left side, and you can come bring cactus the arms, you can bring them out wide. So just coming to a little stretch and that hip flexor maybe in the glute too. All right, using the strength of your core to pull yourself back up to center. You can switch to that other leg, crossing the left leg over the right. Same thing, before you just grab that leg, see if you can use that bottom leg to push your leg in. If this feels impossible, you can grab on, but really try to see if you can use the core and the glutes to press it in instead. It definitely makes it a lot harder. Good. You can slowly bring that left leg down to the floor. You can come to a quick little twist. You can cactus the arms, bring them wide, whatever feels good. If this feels like a lot for your hip tightness, you can always build some more space by bringing the legs further down from you rather than up close. Good, and then using the strength of your core to pull you back up into center, bringing those feet down. We're gonna come back into our toe flexes and flexion and extension. So same things we did before, flexing the toes out, back in. If something feels good, you can hold it for a second. Good, doing a couple more here. Good, you can bring those feet down, coming back to those wrists. So really before you grab on, really try to pretend you're holding a platter here. So flexing the wrist back. Notice if you feel a lot of tension in your forearms. That might mean that you have a lot of fascia that is added up here from a lot of typing or phone time. And then you can start to stretch out again if you want. Pressing back on that right palm. We put so much work in our ankles and our wrists all day. They want some love. All right, switching to that other side, pressing back. Good, you can sit on up here, cross those legs. We'll just do one last little oblique stretch. So you'll plant that right hand and reach that left arm over. If you want to come to some arm circles, we did a lot of shoulder work here. You can also just keep it above, depends where your range of motion is, totally fine. Trying to build some extension here. Good, switch to the other side, planting that left arm, reaching it over, coming to those circles if that feels good. Or you can just stay straight up. Good, come back to center, shake it out, woo! Nice job, everyone. If you have any questions, thoughts, feelings, feedback, I will be here for 10, 15 minutes to talk. Next week, I think I probably will also do it Tuesday instead of Thursday. I can't remember, but I have something next Thursday on my normal time. But I'll be posting it on my Instagram, which is myfitnessmal, if you don't follow me already. So like Mal instead of Pal. If you have any requests for next week, let me know. I love to take that into consideration when I plan my class. So any questions, thoughts, feelings? I will be sitting here awkwardly until someone says something. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin.
It's really fun. I do have a question. Why, what's the story behind these classes? You know, with all of there's so many classes available.
Oh, like the sweat and social distance?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kelly came up with the idea, she's a professor at Milken, to just offer free classes during the quarantine. So early on, she just basically emailed every instructor she knew and was like, will you offer free classes? And I think I felt at least like I can afford to offer free classes. I still have a job as of now. So I wanted to share that with as many people as possible. So I know there's a bunch of people from all around the United States who are doing it for her. So that's kind of the history of it.
Cool. And it's just as long as we have stay-at-home orders, or is it sort of
I think she kind of hopes to make it into a long-term business. So offering free classes for people who just don't want to buy into a $300 pass. So trying to get fitness instructors to offer at least one class a week for free. I think that's her goal of it. I'm not sure long-term what she's going to do, but yeah, for at least another little bit.
It's really great.